In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to scrape Google Places Maps reviews and then take all of that data, put it into AI, and then kind of have a dialogue with it to get key insights that you can use for customer intelligence, market intelligence, for improving your products and services, improving your business at large, for studying competitors to see where they thrive and where they fall short, and also just to see kind of trends in your area or your region. So I'm going to show you the tools. I'm going to walk you through it. Let's go. The big idea here is that customer reviews are one of the greatest sources of truth, especially when we're talking about many data points, like large number of customer reviews taken as a whole, analyzed together. They say the phrase is, the customer is always right. And I think that's a mistake because I think a singular customer can be wrong, but I would say as a whole, the customers together are always right because the customers together make up the body of people who you're serving. What we've got to do here is we have to look at the reviews, which are great sources of truth. They are people that have taken time and energy, so they're passionate to go leave a review. Either they really like it or really dislike it. Like they have some big complaint that they want to vocalize to let that business be known. They weren't happy with it, or they like it and they're going to tell you why. So it's a great place to gather reviews because people will vent. They'll usually tell the truth unless they're incentivized, but then you can grab these reviews, analyze them. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to use Apify and a specific scraper. And what that scraper will do is it will just go in and it will grab all the reviews from Google, and then it'll put it in a special text file, but in a JSON format, which is a special format that the LLMs like ChatGPT and Google Gemini and Claude and that sort of thing. And then we'll take that file and we'll input it into Google Gemini and we'll analyze it. So we'll have all this great data, and now we'll have like this genius data scientist, the LLM, like in this case, Google Gemini, and we'll be able to talk to it, ask it for trends and insights and very powerful stuff. So I just want to show you this workflow. This is completely free to do because you can do this on a limited basis. Apify, which is the scraper tool, has a free plan where you get $5 a month of usage, and that's plenty to get like thousands and thousands of reviews, which then you can use to analyze. So let's get into it. So the main problem we're solving for is that people will look at the reviews, but they do it sort of ad hoc, and they don't do it in a systematic fashion or rigorously. They might look here and there at a few reviews, or they'll just look at the worst ones or the best ones. But what's nice about this is it will gather all of the reviews, and then we put it into one of these LLMs, the AI systems, and it will take in all of the data points into account and say, show me the trends, give me the insights, and I'll show you how that works. We take this insight and we use this insight to be actionable for your business, so that if you see things that people are asking for, but you're not providing, or even if you're studying the competition and they're not providing, then that's an opportunity for you to go meet the customer's needs at a greater level to add more value. And whoever adds the most value tends to win in the marketplace. That's a great opportunity. If people complain, that gives you a great opportunity for like, here are the problems that look systemic. If we fix that, we'll get a lot more happier customers. And then when people compliment you, you can check that for insight and then say, hey, these are the core drivers of a positive customer experience. Are we broadcasting that in our sales and marketing information? Because you might find insight of things you're doing well that you have overlooked or you take for granted, that if you took that and communicated it out to the broader market, it would attract more of these ideal customers. Let's get into it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through Apify. I will set up Apify, and then I will show you how to scrape it. And scrape is just a fancy word for like sucking out all the data. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell Google, we're going to say, for this business, go suck out all the reviews. And then once we get all the reviews, we're going to stick them into AI, and then we'll just go analyze them. So we'll scrape them, and then we'll export them, we'll download results, and then we will ask the AI different questions, and the AI has all of the data of the reviews, so it can give you some insightful feedback that you can use. And we're asking questions like, what are the trends? What do people love? What do they hate? What do they wish for? And then you basically use that to improve. And here's some other cool use cases too, is that you can analyze your competitors, like look at the top 3 competitors, maybe top 3 to 5 competitors in your market, go suck out all of their reviews and then analyze them. Also, you can put all of those files together and say, what do these competitors do differently than I do? Or compare their reviews to my reviews. How are they similar and how are they different? And then you're just looking for trends and patterns. And the beauty of that is the LLM, Google Gemini in this case, is a master at pattern matching, and it will just give you that insight. Say, hey, these people tend to do this, these people, we tend to do that. And you can find the differences. Or you could say, hey, given these 2 sets of reviews, what sort of customers does that business appeal to, and what sort of customers does ours appeal to? You know, like who do you infer are the best customers and the worst customers for this business versus that business? So there are all these really interesting and useful questions you can ask the data. You're asking the LLM to analyze the data, and it will give you this great insight. And the more data points you collect, the better your answers will be. So I would collect as many reviews as possible, like really scrape all of your reviews, start with your own business, but you can check the competitors, you can check market evaluation. So what you could look for is similar but non-direct competitors. So someone who is not necessarily the same business, but they might be substitutes. So if you had a bowling alley, for example, that's an entertainment sort of business. People do it for fun and recreation. So what are other recreational activities that people might do that compete against it? And you can analyze those businesses. So that might be going to the movies, or maybe that's playing miniature golf, or maybe that's going to a video arcade, or maybe that's going to a nightclub. And maybe it's not the same market, but you can analyze their reviews and figure out what drives them, what do they do well, what do they do poorly, because they are substitutes. They're not perfect competitors, but they are substitutes. They're alternatives that people go to have fun. So you can compare close competitors, or you can compare these substitutes, as I say. And then trend spotting too. What's interesting is looking at reviews and looking and then asking the AI, saying, what do people want that they're not getting? Or what do they say, if only, or I wish this would happen, or I need it to just do this. Like, what do they want more of or less of? And by figuring that out, then you can solve the problems. And by solving the problems, you create more value for the customers, and more value for the customers, then you can get the lion's share of the market. And that's the goal, to get as close to the customer as possible. So Appify is going to turn, with this AI analysis, is going to take all these customer opinions, and it's going to really condense them down into actionable insight. And you take that insight and then you go apply it, and you increase your revenue, you cut costs, you create a better customer experience, you have higher customer lifetime value, they refer others, your business becomes more valuable, and just tons of great stuff happens. All right. So here's some of the questions that are great to ask, the data. And then I'm just giving the broad overview now, and then I'm going to dive in and I'm going to show you actually how to do all this. So asking, what do people love about this? What do people hate about this? What are like basically the fundamental emotions like that people feel about this business? Like, what are the most positive emotions? What are the most negative emotions? And you can get creative, and you can even ask the AI this, say, give me the top 10 questions I should ask a data scientist about market research or about customer sentiment and customer feedback. And it'll give you a list of questions too. So that really the sky is the limit here. How do the opinions of males versus females compare and contrast? And hey, you even use the reviewers' names to stereotypically speculate on ethnicity. And then how do the opinions compare across various ethnicities to see if you can do a little bit digging? That's more speculative because they're just inferring ethnicity based upon the names. So it's not perfect data, but it could be a little bit insightful. And then what are the patterns or trends over time? And what do people wish for? What are they requesting? What do they want more of? What do they want less of? And the way I use this is just talking to the data. I pretend like I'm conversing with just some genius data scientist, because all the data is there, and then you stick it into this AI, and then you just chat with it. Sometimes I've just given it a simple command saying, just give me more insights, and it will just like give me more insights, and I'll say, expand upon this, and it'll expand upon it. So I'm first going to go to appify.com, and Appify is free to sign up, and basically you have $5 per month, which will get you something like, you can probably scrape about 7,000 reviews. So there's plenty of reviews to be had, and that's free per month. So I'm going to go, we're going to look for this Google Maps review scraper, the one by Compass here. If you haven't used this before, it might seem a little intimidating, but that's all right. Just take heart. It's really very simple. I will walk you through it. You will have peace of mind. This will be really straightforward, and you will find this very valuable. So we've got to do a few different things. Basically, we're going to say, we want you to go scrape from this URL, meaning we want this business, this reviews. All right, so we have to specify what reviews. So we can do one or more. We can edit them. We can copy and paste a bunch of them, or we can just add them one by one here, just like this. And then what we can do is we can specify the number of reviews per place. So you could review 20 different places and just capture the top 50 to 100 reviews. If you just put 20 separate entries here and then 100, that would capture that. And then you can sort them by, if you're looking for the newest ones, the most relevant, the highest ranking, or the lowest ranking. You can get the personal data. That's basically the name and information of the reviewer, because that's publicly posted. And then what you can do here is you can have a maximum limit, so you're not charged, although this is very cheap. So it's only 60 cents per 1,000 reviews. So you can really get a lot of reviews and a lot of intelligence from this. But you can limit it. So you could say, I just want 1,000, and I'm going to, and then it'll limit it so that you only have 60, you only spend 60 cents maximum, and you get $5 for free. So right here, you've got to figure out, who are you going to scrape? Like, what business reviews do you want to gather? And that's right here. So the way we find that is we have to go to Google Maps. All right, so I'm at Google Maps now. I'm just at a random place. I just arbitrarily picked a place in Los Angeles and dropped down onto this map. So I'm going to say, let's gather the reviews for this Best Buy. So I'm going to go here, and I'm actually going to click on it. And now I have Best Buy selected. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab the URL in the browser window, because that is what I'm going to input in. Because what this requires is the URL that we've selected on the Google map. So here's the URL right here. I'm going to copy this. And now to start this up, I'm going to click Add. Now I'm going to paste this in here. And this is another one that I've already run. So I have the data for this. I'm going to show you how to analyze this and my analysis for this. This was an orthodontic clinic. But this is how I can grab all of the reviews from Best Buy, because I copied that. And then I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to click Save and Start. I'm going to click it, and it will start running. It's going to go out there, and it will grab all the reviews. In this case, the way I've configured it, it will grab 400. But you can leave this blank, and you can grab all of it. And if you have no maximum limit, or if you set it so there's no maximum limit, now it'll just go and go. So once it runs, then we'll click over here to runs. So here I had a recent run of a different scraper, but it's all the same. So you go from inputs, then you click runs. So I ran this, and here I gathered 20 results. I was scraping Instagram posts. I'm just going to show you how do you export it. You click here. So here's an example of some output. And now from here, I'm going to go click here, click export, and I'm going to select this JSON file. And I just leave all the fields there, and then I click download, and I'll download that. And that'll download as a text file in a specialized format called JSON. And then I will use that to analyze the data, which we'll do now. So for this example, what I've done is I have done this for an orthodontic clinic, in the business of straightening teeth through braces and Invisalign. So I have the JSON file here. I attached it just by clicking here and clicking upload files. And then I just said, give me a vivid detailed summary of the reviews of this orthodontic clinic. And it produced really great results. I won't go through all of these because it would take too long, but it's giving insights, what people liked, like the core drivers of positive customer success and the core insights. And then here I asked it to compare male and female. How are they describing it? What's their focus and tone? And give me some examples. And that can be useful to how do you market to men and women differently? And what do you emphasize? Or if you're talking to them on the phone, if they value different things or if they're communicating different ways, you can emphasize different aspects of the practice to convert more prospects to patients. So kind of the comparison summary, the similarity and the differences. I said, do the same, and then what makes this orthodontist different and better? And then it gave some good selling points of what people like, the category, the key insight, the supporting details. Very powerful stuff. And this can be used to really double down on what's working. And then this is an outstanding, a very well-run clinic. But so there wasn't any real negative feedback. But if there's negative feedback too, you can figure out, hey, what are people asking for? What do they dislike? And then you just go fix it. And then, so it's basically you're like talking to a genius data scientist, and you can say, hey, is this an outlier? Is this just a few people complaining? Or is this a pattern and a trend? Is this a consistent theme? And then it will give you that. So it's basically, instead of just crunching the numbers yourself or pouring through all the reviews, you can just be asking questions and talking and getting a very insightful executive level summary that is actionable, that you can actually use to improve your business. Like what makes them better and different. And this is great because I would use this in the marketing to really emphasize the difference in approaches. Like here's what sets us apart from everyone else. Customers, when they're going to choose a vendor or a service provider or a product or service, they're looking for what's the difference. They're trying to compare. Just like when you go to the grocery store and you pick up maybe two similar items and you're looking at them side by side. So knowing what makes them different and better, you can emphasize that in your sales and marketing and convert more prospects to clients. And then insights by viewer demographics, the women and the men. I even asked age and patient type because I wanted to drill down. So it's whatever questions you have, like the data will have it there. And the more reviews you have, the better pool and the better quality of data. So you want as many data points as possible. So this is really powerful stuff. So looking at your own reviews, looking at your competitor reviews, looking at trends in the marketplace, very, very powerful stuff. And not a lot of people are doing it because they don't know how to do it, but it's very simple but it's very valuable and it's very actionable. Like you can actually take these insights to the bank. And then here's like the cultural insights. And again, this is taking the names and then sort of inferring the ethnicity from it and then seeing, are there any differences and what are the differences? And, you're just looking for as many insights as possible. And then sometimes I just say, hey, give me more insights. And then it'll just give me more. So it can just be as simple as that. Just give me more insights or expand on it. Just think of it as you're interrogating a genius data scientist because you have the data and then you have the genius data scientist, which is the LLM, in this case, Google Gemini. And it's very powerful. This is a key insight is that for the orthodontics, what they found is it went beyond just straighter teeth. It went to the level of feeling more confident and life-changing and that resonates with people at a much deeper and more profound level because the level of emotion is higher. It's a greater benefit. So most orthodontists, the way they market, they say, hey, get straighter teeth. But if you're able to say, gain more confidence, change your life, get rid of shame or embarrassment of having maybe crooked teeth, you can emphasize that in the marketing. So all the other orthodontists are talking about just straighter teeth, and you're talking about more confidence. And if you're more confident, you're smiling more, and maybe you're more approachable and more likable, and maybe you're perceived as more charismatic, and maybe that leads to more career opportunities or romantic opportunities, or just a better quality of life and lifestyle. And that's far more impactful than if you're just marketing straighter teeth, because straighter teeth, the prospect has to kind of connect it in their minds of like, okay, well, what does straighter teeth get me? Because straighter teeth, the benefit of it is the more confidence. You're changing, you're feeling better about yourself, your self-esteem goes up, and on and on and on. And here I just said, hey, give me more insights. And this is really fascinating. And I think every business owner should do this, I would say at least quarterly, to just look at what's going on. And even if they want to do it more often, like monthly, they could do the most recent reviews and just say, hey, just give me the most recent trends, catch me up. Are we improving in satisfaction? What does it seem like? Here I said, what are the dominant emotions that people feel? And this is powerful because fundamentally, we're emotional beings that make decisions emotionally, and then we justify with logic and rationalize things. And so people feel relief and comfort, elation and satisfaction, trust and confidence. And now knowing that, you could actually put that in the marketing material, say, hey, you're going to feel this, this, and this with us. And here's why, because we do this, this, and this. So your marketing can resonate better because you're connected at a deeper level. Here are the most frequently used words that are descriptive. Like, because I think kind of almost like doing a virtual word cloud, saying, hey, what are the most common words? And so there it is. That's it in a nutshell. If you want this cheat sheet that can guide you through all of this, then you can get it. Just join my free Skool community. You can download this for free. And if you need help adding AI to your business, that's what I do. I take AI, I build AI systems for small business owners to help the businesses grow, scale faster, farther, to cut costs, to streamline processes, and more. So if you like that, book a call. The link is in the description of this video, as is the link to the Skool community. It is in the description of this video. So I hope that was helpful. Go analyze your customers and use that insight to build the best business possible. Thanks a lot.